Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Coding Unbox. Today we will learn about React state versus props. In part 1 we created a React app using Parcel. I've added the link in the description. You can go and check out that video if you have not checked yet. In this video we will understand states and props using a real working example in React with TypeScript. So what is state? State is data that belongs to a component and can change over time. What are props? Props are data passed from a parent component to a child component, and props are read only. So we will see both concepts working together. What we will do is the parent component, here the app.tsx will store a counter using state, and the child component we will create a one child component which will receive that counter as props and also update it using a function which is passed from the parent, that is which is passed from the app.tsx. So let's get started. In app.tsx, we already have a component which is home. So let's create the state which will belong to this parent component. So I'll create a simple count state. First is the variable, and then another is the function which will actually set this variable. We will use the use state hook, which is a type of a number, and the initial value I'll set it to 0. So our count starts from 0. I'll create one function which is increment. What it does is it will keep increasing this count whenever it is clicked, so the count will increase by 1. So take the previous value, whatever the previous value is, and just increment it by 1. So we have created our function. Now this component will return the HTML with a button which on click will um, increment the count. So basically let's add some title here so we know we are on which page. So it's on home page, and then we'll create a parent div. In this you will create a button which will on click increment the value. So correct the spelling, and you will do on click. So on click you will just call the increment function which we have created. So this error is because we did not wrap into a common div. So instead of adding an extra div, we will add fragments. Fragments is nothing but you can, if you want to wrap something into one divs, you can just use this fragments instead of adding one more tag into the React DOM. So in the home page we have created button on increment. This will increment the count. Now we will just display this count to see if it's working or not, but before that we will pass it to the child component. So there would be a child component which we still need to create it, but I will call it here. So I would like to close this way. Both ways are correct, whatever you want to do. So I will pass the incremented count to the child component, and I will also pass the increment function uh, to child component. So this is increment. So these are the props which are received by the child component. Let's go into this. Error is because we don't have a child component yet, so let's create it. So in src I will create a child.tsx file, and in child.tsx I already have a code, so I'll just copy here. It's simple. I have a function child, and it is receiving this props count and increment, if you remember. we have passed year and it will receive year. So here also we have created a button and we are calling this function which is passed from parent, and we are just showing this count which is passed from parent as props. This is a type. So we have just shown what is the type of count. It was a number. And what is the type of on increment? It is a function, so that is void. This is normal css we have added. It's not necessary. You can add this css into the css file as well if you want. So in app.tsx, it's giving an error, so let's fix this. Let's add the import from the child, and you see the error is gone. Now if you click increment, you see you are clicking the function in the app component. This is our app component, or you can say a parent component, and this is a child component. So when you're clicking increment in the parent component, it is incrementing in the child component. And if you click on increment from child, it will increment in home page. So let's add here the count so you can actually see how it's incrementing, just to see. So I'll add the count here. Okay, so do you see 6 here? So I'm incrementing from child and it's updating in parent. I'm incrementing from parent, it's incrementing in the child. So if you see, the child does not have its own state. We have not added any state here. It only receives count and on increment as props. These are known as props. The child cannot change state directly. It asks the parent to do it. So in parent, in our case, is app.tsx. So the most important key rule is props go down and events go up. So state should live in the component that controls the data. So for us it is app.tsx. So state is mutable and managed inside a component, and props are immutable and passed from parent to child. So this is parent. I'm passing this props from parent to child. If data changes, then use state, and if data is passed, then use props. Um, so that's all for state versus props. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment part 3 if you want to learn about use effect and real world examples. Thank you for watching my video.